It seems like it's been very hard to get this 1 week journal entry out, to get it up on the web. The voices, the critics, the inner critics are too loud, and it's making me want to get this background right. It's making me want to get the first words out right, maybe get the hook out right, and I'm just having to get past all that and actually get this 1 week episode out there. Now I'm almost into 2 weeks, but I still want to put that out there. And sometime I'm going to do the 1 month. And so if you want to keep up with me journaling my whole experience with methylphenidate, subscribe to this channel, look for these videos. But now that we're probably 2 weeks in and I'm still trying to get the 1 week journal entry out there, I'm probably going to have to put out a couple of pieces and not necessarily title them the 1 week, just kind of scatter them out there. Describing how this tool works for me as far as what it's like. So this is definitely a new tool. Having this medication is a tool, and it doesn't work perfectly. Like, I've watched a lot of people make videos if they just got on methylphenidate or some other, maybe a medication for ADHD, and they come out like they're trying to sell you the medication, or maybe they're just trying to sell the fact that you got to go talk to your doctor and get diagnosed and help out. But they come out like all of a sudden life is clear and all of a sudden it's so much better. And I'm not really getting that. I'm not getting oh, this is what normal people must feel like. No, I don't really have that. I will say maybe it's because my dosage is not right. Maybe it's something else. I will say that I'm noticing some things like the rejection. And if you listen to some other ADHD people, you'll notice that we have this thing about rejection. Rejection is actually a physical pain for us. And I'm noticing that that's a little bit less. It's not so much a physical pain. It still hurts, but it's you don't feel some pain somewhere in your body like you used to as much without the medication. I'm noticing that when I go to type in a password, I'm not as overwhelmed on a computer about typing in a password. I've noticed that sometimes I still might forget the password. I think it's a little less likely, but I don't feel immediately overwhelmed by putting that password in. Passwords used to overwhelm me a lot, and that's a little less. So maybe it's still a dosage thing. Maybe if I get this dosage figured out, this will suddenly be even better. I don't know about that. Um, it is still hard for me to complete tasks, but it's a little bit easier. And as I've tried to describe what this feels like when the medication is actually working, it's kind of like my body is vibrating at some other frequency, and that frequency's a little bit happier, a little bit more zen, or more euphoric. And by having my body vibrate at that euphoric frequency, if I start a task, it's a little bit easier to keep on going. Or if I finish a task, it's a little bit easier to go on to the next one. But if I don't it's still just as hard, I think, to get started. That's like the biggest thing it's on some days, it's sometimes I still had one day at least that I can remember that it wasn't working at all, even though I was taking the medication. So I can't explain that one. But yeah, definitely that getting the task started can still be as hard. I can still find myself doom scrolling, and sometimes doom scrolling can feel a little bit better than it did before. And I don't know why people call it doom scrolling, because it's not like I'm scrolling. It's just that continuous scrolling. And sometimes I learn something, or I get inspired from scrolling. So I'm not apt to call it doom scrolling like some people do, especially your classic ADHD channels. But it definitely there is still like that. Like, you could still get locked into scrolling through your phone, even on this medication. It's not like it's going to take away the desire to do that. It's just maybe if you switch to starting another task, it might be just a little bit easier. It's not easier enough, though. It's not like this is working well enough. That is where I'm at with this weekend. I hope that I've conveyed that, and I hope I can actually get this video up without too many critics.